Sandra, welcome to another episode of Asexualise, my asexual life. This is a place to be for education about asexuality. So if you haven't already subscribed, hit that great big subscribe button now. Hit that bell icon to get notified of every time I post a new video or go live like I'm doing now. And don't forget to like this video as we go along if you're enjoying it, and share it with any of your asexual friends. So you have to excuse me, my voice is still croaky. I still have a chest infection. This has been going on for 12 days now. So yeah, still coughing stuff up. So my voice is still like croaky. And I'm in my dressing gown because I'm feeling warmer in my dressing gown and need to get better. So welcome. Today I want to talk to you about being pro sex-free life is great, but not all asexuals will agree. So I was very vocal during Asexual Awareness Week on my own personal Facebook profile, which I have on public, and I have a large percentage of my friends on Facebook are asexuals, and the other large percentage are entrepreneurs. And there's few people from school and few people from fibro groups and other people there. Excuse me. But, you know, out of all the entrepreneurs and friends, the majority are going to be sexual. And then I've got the asexual. So there's a good mixed bunch of friends I've got on there, right? My best female friend, she's heterosexual. She enjoys sex, you know, and I have friends that have sex. I have no problem with people having sex, right? No problem whatsoever. If you know, so long as it's consensual, everyone's enjoying it, having fun, brilliant. Not got a problem with it. You know, so long as it doesn't involve me, great, wonderful, happy for you, love it, brilliant. However, I am happy promoting a sex-free life because I think we have enough promotion in the whole world of a sexualized life, of how good sex is, how wonderful sex is, how you need sex in order to have a great relationship, which just simply isn't the case. But, you know, the world's very pro-sex, you know, sex makes you happy. Have more sex to feel great. You've got to have sex to make a relationship work. Without that, it's dead, you know, and all this type of thing, right? There's enough sexual stuff in the world, right? I don't need it putting in my face anymore. I'm quite aware of all the sexualized society we live in, right? I'm an asexual. I lack sexual attraction. Now, some people are not really sure what sexual attraction is. Sexual attraction is an energy, but it's otherwise, it basically gives you the feeling, the need, urge, or want for partnered sexual intercourse. That's what sexual attraction is, right? It's an energy that gives you that feeling that you want to have sex with someone. That's what it does, right? Okay, so asexuality is a lack of sexual attraction and or little to no interest in sexual activities. Some asexuals do have sex. However, the majority that are doing it are having it to please their partner, or because they don't mind it, you know, their partner's heterosexual or pansexual, bisexual, homosexual, their partner's sexual. You know, so they go along with it, but they're not usually the ones to instigate it. I mean, they might instigate it as a form of like being in control of it, but they're not ones to instigate it usually for the sake of it, because they're not feeling that sexual attraction towards the person. You know, there is sexual attraction and sexual desire. So theoretically, you could desire sex, but still not feel sexual attraction. So you could like the sex itself. Now, asexuality is a sexual orientation. It doesn't mean to say we don't have sex, and some of us do. However, on Asexual Awareness Week, I was very much promoting the fact that I loved having a sex-free life and how wonderful it was and how fantastic it was to love in other ways without sex. And I'm quite happy to do that, because if everyone just keeps doing the same thing over and over again, society's not going to change. It's not going to be open to love without sex. If no one sticks up for that, if no one says it out loud, if no one, you know, actually says, you know, a sex-free life is amazing, it's fantastic, it's wonderful. If no one in the world is saying that and no one's prepared to be pro-sex-free, then, you know, everyone in the world's just gonna keep going on in this sexualized world, thinking that's all there is to relationships. In essence, you cannot have a relationship without sex. That's what's going to go on in their minds, right? So like I said, on my personal Facebook page, I was promoting a sex-free life for Asexual Awareness Week. I was saying, you know, how it feels like, you know, and how I'm attracted to the guy's face, his beauty, his eyes, his lips, his hair, but not his penis, right? That's how I feel. And a lot of my posts on my personal Facebook profile, they got loads of likes, nice comments. I even got sexual friends, private, you know, commenting on it, or I private message and they said, oh, you know, I think it's great because you're not putting it in people's face, you're just explaining how you feel, and everything was great, you know, no problems on my personal Facebook page. Even they got tons of sexuals on there. None of them had any problem that they came to me about or said any comments that was against asexuality or sex-free life. None of them, right? They're all mature entrepreneur types or asexuals, the majority of them, and they're mature people, right? That's what a mature person does. They accept other people's sexual orientation, whether they're that way or not. They just accept it. You know, why shouldn't people accept things, right? So in my asexualized dating group, which is I run 3 dating groups, right, for asexuals. One of them is called Asexualized Dating for Asexuals Only, and it's for people who are asexual looking for a relationship with another asexual and who want it sex-free. That group is very niche. It's specifically for asexuals who don't want sex. And the reason I created it was because I was absolutely fed up in going all the other asexual dating groups, and it had sexuals in them as well. And I'm like, I don't want sex. And I just kept speaking to people on private message who wanted sex. And I was fed up with trying to sift through the people in the asexual group as to determine whether they're sexual or asexual and where they want sex or not. You know, I'm a person who has had sex in the past, you know. I'm not someone who doesn't have experience of that. I've had experience. And, you know, one of the things that crops up with asexuals, oh, you haven't had good sex. Yes, my ex was good at sex. Great, I've had it. I've done it and been there. I don't need it again in my life. I didn't know I was asexual back then, right? And I much prefer a sex-free life. I just prefer it. I'm happier. I'm healthier. Because my mind feels better. I don't have the emotional upset that I got because, you know, sex is not really my thing, even though my ex was good at it and I had no problem with it. And, you know, from that point of view, but I would rather have not done it. I can be doing other things in my life, right? I'm an asexual who does like a ton of kissing though, which is very, very unusual, right? A lot of asexuals are not into passionate snogging, deep penetrative snogging. They, you know, snogging, kissing, if you don't know what snogging is, you know, they're not into that. So I am like a minority within a minority, which is really hard for me because usually it's more sexuals that prefer that than asexuals. So that, you know, that's something I have to deal with. However, I do love a sex-free life and I do love promoting a sex-free life. And as I'm asexual, I don't experience sexual attraction. I don't get the need, urge or want for partner sexual intercourse and I'm enjoying my sex-free life. I think it's perfectly fine for me to promote that. And whether people agree with me or not, I'm still going to promote it. Right? But I went into my asexualized dating for asexuals only group, right? Dating group. I run the Grace and Demi group, all right? And I write different stuff in each of my groups. And I run the asexuality UK dating and UK support group as well. So I run 3 groups. You know, to get in there, you have to answer questions. And I you know, specifically want asexuals in there. If you're not on the asexual spectrum, you know, in any of those dating groups, then, you know, that's it. But obviously the grey flag, okay, so in the grey and demis, obviously they're a mixed group and some of those will want sex in a relationship because they're on the more sexual end of the spectrum, right? So in my asexualized dating for asexuals only, right, I've got it up here at the moment. I'm going to read you the post out, right, because it's in my no sex dating group and I have people basically kicking off in there saying, what about all the asexuals that like sex? And I'm like, this is a no sex dating group. Yes, there are asexuals that do have sex and that seem to take physical pleasure in it. Fine, that's great for them. But, you know, overall, the majority of asexuals don't want sex because they're not getting the need, urge or want for it, you know? And if they probably had a choice between an asexual person or a sexual, I think the majority would pick the asexual, You know, obviously, if they're in love with a sexual, then they probably wouldn't, because they want the partner they've got. But in theory, they probably pick to be with an asexual person, you know? So anyway, you know, this is a post I wrote, right? And bear in mind, I've been writing posts like this all the time on my own Facebook profile, which is full of asexual friends as well. No one had a problem. Look, I put, to be asexual and free from sex is the best feeling in the world. To live, thanks for the thumbs up, to live, love and be happy without sex is one of life's most precious gifts to the world. You know, and I really believe that. You know, to be asexual and free from sex is the best feeling in the world. It's the best feeling ever to me. You know, I cannot tell you, like, you know that I recently dated a heterosexual guy nearly 2 weeks ago, right? And then when I date a heterosexual, it gets me to think more about sexual behaviour and sexual stuff. And now I'm not thinking about it that much anymore, because I'm not even considering, like, I'm not even thinking about dating sexuals right at the moment. You know, I'm free again of all that sexual stuff in my mind to do with him. Do you see what I'm saying? And I'm free of all that sexual tension and stuff you get with it. And I just prefer a sex-free life. I have started to date heterosexuals again, but it's not something I'm really interested in doing. I want an asexual guy. But, you know, I'm trying to see what it's like to date a heterosexual guy. Personally, it's been good for me to make sure, you know, because I don't want to be like too scared or anxious around. I don't get scared or anxious around asexuals. And if it's sexual guys, just business, it's fine. But if it's to do with relationship stuff, I can get really uncomfortable and really anxious and nervous all the time. But I don't want to be like that all the time. I don't think it's good for me. But, you know, like, I wrote this post and I thought, you know, in a sex-free group, everyone would either agree or not say anything, you know, and I thought they'd be happy, they'd understand it, right? But no, 2 people left the group, a third person left the group, and I don't mind if people want to leave my group. If it's not for them, great, bye, see you, you know, have fun in the other groups. It's not for you. You know, not every person fits into every group. You know, I've been told, like, you know, I've been blocked from certain groups in the past, not lately, long time ago I was. And I've left, you know, I leave groups if I'm not happy in them, you know? So that's fine. I don't have a problem with leaving groups, but it's, you know, it's the stuff they were writing about, all the sex that asexuals like. I mean, you know, we've got enough people in the world being pro-sex all the time. It's about time we had some more people in the world being pro-sex free. Because unless we get the message out there that it's healthy and good and amazing to have a sex-free life, why would anyone who's not asexual think about having one? If people are not promoting the benefits of it, it's like anything. When you're selling a concept, selling a product, selling an idea, you know, you have to explain the benefits of it, right? This includes a sex-free life, the benefits of it, which are huge, you know? You don't have to worry, unless you're doing some sexual stuff still, you don't have to worry about sexually transmitted diseases. But obviously, if you're still doing some sexual acts, even though you're not having penetration, you can still, you know, you could still get something. But, you know, I don't have to worry about pregnancy. I hate pregnancy, personally, for me. I'm actually pregnancy repulsed. I can't stand it. You know, it took me 2.5 years to stand seeing pregnant people in my old job, because I used to work opposite a nursery in my old job for 5 years. And 2.5 years, I had to be around that to actually not be pregnancy repulsed, because every time I saw a woman with a bump who was pregnant, it made me feel sick. Because, you know, I personally don't like pregnancy. I personally don't like the look of it. I personally don't like anything to do with it. You know, I appreciate everyone needs, you know, the pregnancy makes the world go round, and test tube babies and all that. I appreciate that, you know, the people that are having sex are making the world go round. I wouldn't be born now if my parents weren't heterosexual and didn't want a baby, you know. I do give my respect to people like that. I do appreciate them. I do appreciate that people do love sex, but there's enough people promoting that, you know. We need to be actually getting in there and saying, look, there's people that are having happy, fulfilling, fantastic lives, and they're doing it free of sex. And it's amazing, you know? It's amazing, you know? People will start to turn heads. They'll start to feel, well, what's all the fuss about this sex-free life, you know? It sounds a bit bizarre to me, but maybe I should, like, look into it a bit more, or, understand it a bit more. And the more people understand us and where we're coming from, and the more people can see the benefits of it, the more maybe some sexuals will think, hey, maybe I could have a sex-free life. Do you know what I mean? So, with an asexual, for example, but, I honestly believe this. To live, love, and be happy without sex is one of life's most precious gifts to the world. Because we're 1% of the population, Some sexuals, they are so tied up with needing sex. It rules their life, It rules every waking moment, They need to get the next boyfriend, girlfriend, one night stand, or whatever they want to do to get the sex fix, because it's in their body that they need that. Do you know what I mean? And it's just like, constant for some of them. I don't have that to worry about. I never want a baby. I've never wanted a kid since I've been 15 years old. None of that's ever going to change. It's not for me. Not every single person in the world needs to make a baby. And I don't have to, not having sex anymore means I don't have to worry about what I'm doing. I can cook a meal. I've got no guy coming behind me, touching my breast, trying to instigate sex with me, which I don't want, or I'd rather not bother with. I don't have to worry about touching him or sucking him and, doing all that hard work and then thinking, I'm thinking, well, I just want to chill. I'd rather go to the cinema and watch an action movie. Thanks very much. Do you know what I mean? I don't want that life again. I don't want to go down that road of that again, and I love promoting a sex-free life because most people don't even know it's amazing. Most people just think you're crazy, right? Sex-free life, or like one coach said, dating coach said, if you don't have sex as part of your relationship, it's dead in the water. And this one woman on this thread, right, of this dating coach, she said, well, me and my husband don't have sex anymore. We haven't had it for like 5 months or whatever, but I've been going through a lot of trauma and he's really understanding and still loves me. And actually, I love stronger than ever before. And I am asexual, as you know. I watch dating coaches which are aimed at sexuals. And I wrote in there comments that it's perfectly fine because I said, I'm asexual. I don't have sex and people can love and live and be happy without sex. And I said, so long as in a partnership, you've got the strong emotional connection, you've got tons of communication between you, and there are other ways if you want to have physical intimacy than you can other than intercourse, then everything's great. And that woman was so happy that I said that, I am glad I was there in that YouTube thread to actually give that woman some moral support, because in that thread, which obviously I've told you the dating coaches are usually aimed at all sexuals, I'm a coach, I consider myself a coach of asexuality, right? So, but the majority of coaches, they're geared towards dating coaches, they're geared towards sexuals, right? So you've got me here that's talking as an asexual dating coach, if you like. But and that's one of the things. They were like, how to keep a relationship alive and the spark. And that was one of the things that you said, if you're not having sex, you're dead in the water. If your relationship is just over. And I think that's a horrific thing to say. Absolutely horrific thing to say. And this woman, said she couldn't have that anymore. She's too traumatized. Her body's not good at the moment. Her husband understands. And, these people are saying, oh, well, maybe you need to get checked out. Maybe there's something wrong with you, Oh, that's not very good. You should be having it. And can you imagine this person who's going through trauma, who's just expressing how she feels that she hasn't had it, who's hearing this dating coach saying your relationship's dead in the water if you don't have sex, and who's feeling like all this trauma, so she can't do it. You shouldn't have sex if you're feeling trauma and you don't want to do that and it's going to contribute to more trauma for you. You shouldn't be having sex against your will. You shouldn't be having sex when you're traumatized. You shouldn't be having sex when you don't feel like it. You shouldn't be having sex when it's not good for you. Because just like, certain things aren't healthy in life, that's not healthy. It's not healthy to hurt yourself in terms of emotions and physicality just for the sake of society and everyone thinking you need sex, It's not good. It's ridiculous. And the fact that everyone's promoting, oh, well, the way you have a healthy, happy relationship is through sex, I just think it's disgusting. It's like, there is no other way. Well, there is another way. There is another way, And why the heck aren't we getting this message out on a global scale that a sex-free life is great? And you don't have to be celibate and you don't have to be, like I said, you don't have to be celibate to have a sex-free life, you know, and asexuality is great, you know, but these people are posting in my group, oh, how about the aces that do have sex? And importantly, do you think we're better than allo people? Allo meaning sexual people. No, I don't think I'm better than sexual people. I didn't say that, did I? Clearly in that, to be asexual and free from sex is the best feeling in the world. To live, love, and be happy without sex is one of life's most precious gifts to the world, right? That's not saying anything bad about sexuals. That's saying how I feel and how happy I am to have a sex-free life. And I really believe it's a precious gift. Because I honestly think that, you know, the majority of people don't have that gift. The majority of people cannot have loving, caring, happy relationships, find fulfillment in life, find happiness without having sex. You know, people are miserable because they're not having relationships and they're not getting the sex they want. You know, I don't have that problem. Asexuals that are not into sex and don't experience sexual attraction or sexual desire and are not bothered about sex don't have that problem. The only thing we would love to have is love without sex. Love without sex does exist because I know asexuals that are with other asexuals. I've got one of my best male asexual friends and he is engaged to his asexual girlfriend now. So asexual love does exist. It's very difficult to find it. But perhaps if we spread more and more awareness of asexuality and we actually, you know, push how wonderful it is to have a sex-free life, just like all the sexual stuff that's pushed in our faces 24/7. You know, maybe, just maybe, the world might take notice that we can love, live and be happy and healthy without sex. You know, wouldn't that be a really positive message? And positive message for generations and generations, so that children, when they hit their teenage years, don't feel pressurised to have sex to keep in with the crowd. You know, they're not made to feel broken or strange or sick or something wrong with them or diseased because they don't have sex, because they don't feel that. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm sick and tired of everyone in the world just thinking everything's revolving around sex when it doesn't. And I cannot believe that asexuals, even in a sex-free group, you know, would be so like going on about, what about all the asexuals that want sex? I mean, I would ask the question, why do all these asexuals want sex, you know? How about the aces that do have sex? You know, it says do have sex. It doesn't actually say they want it, to be honest, you know? It doesn't say they want it. It says, how about the aces that do have sex? The majority of asexuals, is, you know, they do it to please their partner. They might enjoy it as an activity to do. But I'm not saying anything against those people. I'm saying that it's great to have a sex-free life. If asexual is in a relationship, they choose to have sex, don't they? You know, just like a sexual person does. It's still a choice at the end of the day. You know, everyone has choices in life, whether you're asexual, sexual, or whatever orientation you are. You still have a choice. And I have the choice to promote a sex-free life as being a great positive thing. Just think of all the disabled people that can't have sex in the world. Just think how they feel when they're constantly bombarded with sex. You need sex to have a great relationship, sex to get love, sex to be happy. Just think of all those disabled people that can't have it for physical reasons, you know? There's tons of people that don't have sex, not just asexuals. You know, and I just think it's really important that we get the message out there that having a sex-free life is fantastic too. It's really, really good. And it's a blessing, you know, because we haven't got all this sexual stuff to worry about. We have our own problems and our own issues. We do. But, you know, I love a sex-free life. I cannot stress it enough. It's absolutely amazing. I feel so much better, so much happier, so much healthier for me, because it didn't suit my personality, because it's not who I am. I'm fundamentally, you know, I've been asexual since birth. I just didn't realise it. And that is the situation with a lot of asexuals. A lot of asexuals do not realise they're asexual, but they were born asexual and they just didn't realise it, you know? And so I think we should be rejoicing. We should feel fantastic and really happy to have a sex-free life. I think it's absolutely amazing to promote it. I don't think there's anything wrong. You know, it's seen as a society that we can promote sex constantly. We can live sexualised all the time. So why not promote a sex-free life for a change? Why not have a different option for people? Why not, you know, let people see the beauty of not having sexual intercourse and not being involved in sexual relationships, you know? It's just ridiculous, you know? I like the relationships when you're a teenager, you know, and you're not into sex, and it's before you get to the sexual stage, you know, and you're just enjoying the kissing, the holding hands, the hanging out, the chatting, the going out for dates. You know, that's like the innocent teenager style stuff that I love, you know? There's no reason why you can't have that type of relationship as an adult, you know? Sex causes a lot of problems to do with affairs, cheating, you know, manipulation as well, abuse. And there's no reason why we can't, you know, enjoy a sex-free life and be pro-sex-free. Sorry, I stuck on my chest infection. Anyway, I think I've talked long enough tonight. Anyway, if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. I hope this video has been useful, helpful, insightful. Before you go, I did want to mention that I was actually talking to a guy who's a music producer, and he has his studios in Hollywood. I was messaging him this morning because he's a friends with my friend, and I became friends with him. And I was telling him about asexuality. This is someone who's not asexual, bear in mind, right? He is a singer, right? He's got songs out, right? He's a foreign guy, lives in America. He's an amazing, beautiful singer. And I just want to say that this guy is not asexual, right? And he doesn't know me because we only just started talking. But I was explaining, he was asking me, what do you do? And I was explaining the asexual work I do and everything. And he said, that's really interesting. He said, because the majority of my songs talk about sexuality. And he said, this could give me some ideas for new songs. And I just thought that is so beautiful, you know. He said that he thinks women are goddesses. So obviously he loves women. He probably really loves sex, probably loves the female body. I swear I've got other foreign friends that say stuff like that. But it's nice. It's nice to speak of women highly. It's really nice. And, you know, but there, yeah, when I told him about asexuality, it's really interesting. He said, yeah, this could be great, give me great ideas for other songs. He said, because my songs are all to do with sexuality. And I said, yeah, but this is a lack of sexual attraction. I explained. He said, yeah, but it's still good because it can give him ideas for songs. And he has got his studios in Hollywood because my friend did a video behind the scenes with him from his studios in Hollywood. And I've seen him being interviewed on YouTube, on like TV shows and stuff. So this is amazing, you know? I mean, as you know, if you watch this channel, my mission is to get asexuality recognised as a sexual orientation in its own right throughout the globe, globe, so no asexual has to live in fear of ridicule ever again. This is my mission while I'm alive, to live it, you know? And this means talking to people that are in power or that are high up or that are very famous. You know, I have a lot of entrepreneur friends. I don't like the word penetration because it can be a sexual word, but I'm basically penetrating the entrepreneurial market and minds, you know, to let them know there's asexuality does exist. Hello, we're over here. And, you know, to tell them about it, to let them know that it's amazing and what it's about. And the more thought leaders, these entrepreneurs are on stages throughout the world, you know, the more of these thought leaders that know about asexuality and understand it, you know, the more they're likely to mention it in interviews sometimes or talk about it amongst their friends or may recognise someone who's asexual, who's a friend of theirs. And this gets the word spread more, you know. I don't play small. I'm not a small player. I play big in my life. I don't believe in doing things half-heartedly, right? I am here to get the message out globally about asexuality. I'm not here to be a little wallflower. I'm not here to not make a positive impression. I'm not here to not make a strong impression. I am about being global, right? I live in the UK, right? I do want to make a huge impact in the UK because I know there are some other people, particularly in America, that are, you know, that are very prolific with asexual activism, you know? Obviously, David J's over there, the founder of Avon, and there's another female, you know, well, one or two who make a big impact in America, you know? I don't think there's really that many people over in the UK, and I hope I do make that big impact in the UK. I think, you know, there is one other person I know who makes an impact in the UK, but, you know, what I'm saying is there's not just me, there's other people, right? I don't call myself an activist. I call myself an ambassador for asexuality, an asexual coach, an asexual entrepreneur, an asexual speaker, because obviously I was on the Asexuality UK conference I was speaking, and an asexual author, right? So Asexualise is my brand, you know. I made a brand around asexuality to get it recognised globally and to be taken seriously, right? So I'm here for the long haul. I'm here to make a huge impact in the world. I'm here to change lives, to be quite blunt. And there's tons of people that do activism, not just stuff like I do, right? And that's great, but I am unique in my own right, and I have this mission in my own right, and that's what I intend to fulfill. I intend to be a voice for asexuals. I intend to make an impact globally, and the way I'm doing that is different to other people because I'm in the entrepreneur world, because I like entrepreneurial stuff. You know, I'm really a trainer in social media and, you know, all that type of thing. I've got books out to do with social media as well. I'm not just, don't just write about asexuality, right? I do other stuff as well. But asexuality is like the biggest part of my life at the moment, you know, it's huge. I live and breathe it, you know, day in, day out. I was just doing another asexual t-shirt a minute ago, even though I said I wouldn't do it anymore. Because I've done enough at the moment, you know, I've done every design I can, but I was thinking of one more design, you know, but I've got to get on with other stuff because I've got another book that's not an asexual book, but I need to get out. Some asexuals wanted it actually. It's a book about fibromyalgia, but because I've got that. So, you know, but it's a different book. It's called How to Manage Fibromyalgia Like a Superhero Rock Star, Fibro Girl to the Rescue. See, I like to write different books. My brand, my book, I'm a publishing company. My company's called Quirky Books. You know, this is what I do. I don't just do asexual stuff, but asexuality is my thing. It's obvious I was born to help asexuals. You know, I have a loud voice. I don't, you know, not everyone's going to like me. I know that I'm not here to be liked. I'm here to do a mission and to serve the people who do want asexuality getting recognised as sexual orientation throughout the globe. That's what I'm here for, you know, and to do the best thing that I can do in my own style, in my own way, and, you know, support asexuals as best I can, you know. I've got my next asexual meetup in the UK. It's on the 18th of November, so I hold in-person asexual meetups. I don't just talk fluff and talk, you know, I'm not just talking in the realm of online, virtual stuff. I'm actually talking to real asexuals in person. You know, we're all real, well, apart from the ones that scam. But you know what I'm saying? I talk to them in person, in real life, if you like. I meet people. I spend time with them. Asexuals, genuine asexuals that do exist and that care. You know? People, you know, like I've got on my next meetup, there's 7 of us getting together. You know, so, well, 7 and an 8th later on. Yeah, so there'll be 8 on the day, you know? So it's going to be incredible, you know. I do this, you know, and I will continue to promote asexuality and a sex-free life and its benefits, you know, because there's enough people promoting sex. I don't, you know, I don't want to add myself to that list. And yes, I know that I know some asexuals have sex, and I've had sex in the past. It's not, I'm saying anything against that. I'm saying I love it. I prefer the sex-free life, and it's good for asexual to know they have a choice. Asexual, where you're asexual, you know, if you're asexual, you can choose to have sex with someone if you want, despite being asexual. If you want to go for it, go for it. Some people who are asexual might like it. Other people who are asexual might hate it. Other people might be indifferent. You know, we're all different types of people. That doesn't change your sexual orientation. It doesn't change the fact that having a sex-free life can still be good as well. You know, some people love a sex life. Some people can love a sex-free life. So yes, I'll continue to promote the fact that a sex-free life is awesome, because that's what I truly believe, you know, and I'm not hurting anyone by saying that. Well, I don't think I am. And even if anyone's offended, I'm not going to live my life worrying about every single person that's offended by everything I say, because like I said, I'm here to live my life and to do the best I can do. And, you know, as a person, you can't be worried about every 5 minutes what everyone thinks or says or does. You know, not everyone's going to agree with everything you say or do in life, and that's fine. You know, you're an individual, you're your own person, and it's great. And as individuals, we can decide if we don't want sex, and as individuals, we can realise that this highly sexualised world is not the only one that's actually available. But it's just what everyone sees, because it's what all the advertisers want to promote, because it gets them money. You know, they're promoting all, you know, like advertisers obviously promote sexy clothing. They promote sexual products like sex toys. They promote things to help you achieve more sex or get, you know, basically Viagra and stuff. If you can't, you know, haven't got a sex drive, or you can't get your so-called bit up, and you know there's lots of advertising and stuff all around the globe that's very geared towards sexuals. It's a highly sexualized society, and it's about time that people took notice and understood that that's not the only way of life, you know? And I really think asexuality should be in schools. It should be taught in schools, you know? It should be taught on a big level, you know? And sadly at the moment it's not being that, you know? Sadly at the moment schools are being talked about. I've got a friend, entrepreneur friend, and she goes to school, she works for the government and goes to schools and she's trying to get sexuality, different types of sexuality known about. But when I mentioned asexuality to her and said, you know, I'd like to help getting asexuality into school, she hasn't replied to me, and I just think that's a shame. I think it's a shame that she didn't say, right, let's incorporate asexuality as well, because it is a sexual orientation. You know, I still think she's a wonderful person. I still like her and everything, but, you know, no response. So, you know, different people react differently. So anyway, I hope this video has been useful, helpful, insightful. Please give it a thumbs up if you like the content and if you like the video. It does help this channel to get higher up in the search engine rankings as well. And it does help asexuality to get better known around the globe. It's really important. And don't forget, if you haven't already subscribed to this channel, this is the place to be for education about asexuality, all things asexual. And I share my own asexual life journey in order to help you in yours. So you can learn from the different experiences I have and comment and join in chat here. Don't forget, like I said, give this video a thumbs up. Subscribe. Oh yeah, after you subscribed, I forgot to say again to hit that great big bell icon, because that means you'll get notified every time I go live, like I have done now, or post a new video. At the moment, I'm constantly live streaming every day on this channel. I have done so since the 1st of July, which I don't know anyone else who's doing that day in, day out. So you do get to see me every day. You can ask me questions in live stream, live chat, you know, and I'm happy to answer them, so long as obviously they're not rude and not very nice questions. You know, they're sexual, sexual stuff that's not nice, you know. I'm quite happy to answer constructive sexual questions, but not stuff that's basically disgusting spam, you know. So I like to keep this channel as clean as possible and as healthy as possible, and for it to be sexual education and asexual education, not you know, going overboard with the sexual stuff and not, you know, talking about it in an unhealthy way. So anyway, don't forget to give this video a thumbs up like I've said, and I will see you on the next live stream. Take care, share this video with all your friends or whoever may benefit. Really lovely to see you. Thanks for everyone tuning in. I know there's been a few of you tonight tuning in. Take care, and don't forget to leave any comments down below in between. Thank you. Bye. See you soon.